Let me ask you something. If you're cold calling, texting, sending mailers, or using Facebook leads, and you're stuck below 100,000 consistently closing a month in your business, have you ever wondered if the channel may be the problem? Not your effort, but the channel. And so here's the thing, guys. I built a real estate wholesaling company that will do about $7 million this year with a full leadership team in place. And my biggest month ever to date was $781,000 closed in a single month from a single marketing channel. The wholesalers hitting $1 million a year in profit, not revenue, meaning they're probably doing at least 3 to 4 million in total revenue, that are actually taking home in their pocket $1 million a year. They are not using SMS, cold calling, direct mail. They're not using Facebook. They do something very different. They understand the key to scaling is to have motivated sellers coming to you, not you chasing motivated sellers. So guys, I want you to imagine this with me because I lived this for a long time and it was arduous. Imagine it's Monday morning, you show up to the office and your office assistant is asking about the 10,000 data list you need to pull. It's the same list you pulled a month ago, but you don't know what else to do. So you pull the list, you load it up to a dialer, and you start mass texting or mass calling. By noon, your sales reps have been told to F off probably 25 times. You've probably accidentally texted or called someone on the do not call list, and now you're risking a TCPA lawsuit, which if you don't know what that is, I'll make a separate video. Not a fun place to be. Almost every single person you called is probably a tire kicker. That business I just described can without a doubt get you to 50 to 75, maybe 100,000 in total revenue, not profit, a month. But there is a huge cap if you want to scale past that. When you're running cold call, SMS, Facebook, direct mail, you are doing what is called disruption-based marketing. Let's say your average lead cost, we're going to go super cheap for the sake of this example, is $30 a piece. Sounds great, right? Yay, we got cheap leads. Here's what those cheap leads actually cost you. You're going to close 1 in every 50 of these leads, which means your total cost per contract, not cost per closed deal, is $1,500. There is without a doubt, that is a super cheap cost per contract. It looks amazing. Hooray, we're doing great. Now let me explain why this breaks. On average, an SMS cold call or Facebook lead results in a $14,000 assignment fee. That is the average revenue you're gonna make on one of these transactions. Now, without getting too nerdy, your closing, meaning how many contracts actually get to closing, is going to be much lower than 50%. But for the sake of this example, I will give SMS cold calling and Facebook just a little bit more credit, and we're going to assume you close 1 in 2 transactions. So if you lock up 2 contracts, which means you spent $1,500 on the first contract, you spent $1,500 on the second, that means your cost per closed deal is going to be $3,000 because you're going to close 50%. So in this example, you spent $3,000 to make $14,000. This looks amazing, right? What would that be? Let's do the math. 14,000 divided by 3,000 equals a 4.7 times return on your ad spend. That is fantastic. I'm not trying to argue that. But here's where this math breaks down. Let's say you want to sign 10 contracts a month because you're building a business that you actually want to have enterprise value and have other people run it for you. So if we want to get 10 contracts, that means we need 50 leads times 10, which means we need 500 leads in this business. That is just to sign 10 contracts a week. Now, the tricky part, to actually get those 10 contracts signed, you need someone constantly pulling data. You have to spend thousands on scrubbing those lists to make sure you're not calling people on the do not call list. You then need a lead manager because none of these people are motivated, and then it goes to your closer. Look how much expense you add into the business as you go to try and scale to 10 contracts a month. Now, don't even get me started if we really want to become big boys and we want to get to 20 contracts. You would need 1,000 leads a week, multiple lead managers, people pulling different lists, scrubbing. Nightmare. What that leads to is more lists, more compliance TCPA risk, more dials, more people on payroll, more overhead. And this right here is what we call the hamster wheel. You're not building a real business. You're building a machine that only runs if you keep holding it together. Here's where you really get hit hard. Your sales reps, they're getting told all day to F off, to go to hell. They're sorting through 50 leads to find a single contract. Their deal size is only $14,000, meaning their commission is only $1,000 or $1,200 on a single closing. What that leads to is your sales reps are going to start quitting. So not only do you have to go pull more data lists, now you got to go back to Indeed and start your hiring and training process all over again. You may finally get your first good sales rep. If he's a good salesperson, why is he going to stay in a business that is making him cold call leads and take these terrible leads when I have a business opportunity in the same industry saying, hey man, 1 out of 10 of my leads, I'm going to pay a lot more for you and you're going to have a way better quality of life. Your best people are going to leave exceptionally fast. And this is why most people say you can't scale a wholesaling business past 50 to 75,000 a month. No, you can't scale that channel past that. Now, here's the question that changed everything for me in my net worth and entrepreneurial journey. What if instead of chasing sellers, they came to me every single day? Think about what that actually means. Right now, your business runs on disruption. You're interrupting someone's day, hoping they may have a house you want to buy. They didn't ask for your call. They have no idea who you are. They didn't raise their hand. You just found them and cold called or cold texted them or sent them a mailer to their house. Who even opens their mail anymore? Intent-based marketing, i.e. Google Ads, is the exact opposite. Someone opens Google and types in "sell my house fast" or "find me a cash buying company right near me." The person already knows they have a problem. They already know the solution exists. They already know they need a cash buyer. They went looking for it. They're on Google trying to find someone exactly like you right now. Now just think about the quality of life during these conversations. Is every Google lead an absolute dunk? Of course not. But you're not being told to F off. You're not being told to go to hell. These are people who contacted you. If someone is moderately rude, all you say to them is, hey, you filled out our web form. And they're like, oh yeah, I did it. So now let me show you what the numbers look like when you use intent-based marketing. Your cost per lead is going to skyrocket, and we actually want that. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. Google leads are some of the most expensive leads you can buy. I always use this example. If you're going out to sushi, when you get sick after you eat the discount cheap sushi, is it the restaurant's fault or is it your fault? It's no different in business. If you're trying to cheap out on marketing, the lifeblood of your business, and then you keep failing, it's not the marketing channel's fault. It's the entrepreneur who's making the wrong decision. We want to pay a premium for these leads. We're going to use this example. Let's say I pay $200 for a Google lead, and I'm going to close 1 out of every 10 of my Google leads, which means my cost per contract is $2,000. Let's say I close 1 in every 2 transactions. So I sign 2 contracts, $2,000, $2,000, and we only get 1 closed. Meaning my cost per closed deal is $4,000 on a Google lead. Here's the key. My average deal size, meaning the revenue I get into my business, is $31,000 for a single transaction. The reason it's so much bigger is these people are already motivated. They have a house that needs work. They already know they need a cash buyer. So right here, the math alone is already better for the business. The reason this is so easy to scale is we know we can get a 4 times return on marketing. So if we want to scale to $1 million a month, we're going to have to spend $25,000 in our ad account, and every single month we're going to close $100,000 in revenue. Now here's the best part. When we get here, unlike our cold call and SMS business, it's very hard to scale past. All we do here is we earn up our ad budget. And so if we want to go to $500,000 a month, we just are going to take $500,000 divided by 4, which give us $125,000 a month in ad spend. We simply add salespeople and they work those leads. Now here's what it does to your sales team. Your reps are no longer getting told to kick rocks all day. They're talking to people who raise their hand, who actually need their help. The quality of their day is completely different. The deal sizes are more than twice as large, meaning for every single transaction they close, they make double the amount of commission, assuming the compensation plans are identical. What that does is it lets your salespeople stay with you for an extended period of time. When your salespeople stay with you, all you do is add more and turn up your ad spend, and you have a scalable company. Think about how simple this model is. And the trick is we're paying a premium on the marketing side and we're letting the ads do the work for you. Now, let me explain one thing about Google Ads. At this point in the video, if you're still here, you probably understand that if you're going to build a company that has enterprise value, you have to use inbound marketing in Google Ads. Google Ads is an auction. Keywords like "sell my house fast" or "cash buyers near me," they don't have a fixed price. The cost of the keyword changes every single day depending on the location you're in and depending on how many people are bidding on it. What's profitable today could be losing you money tomorrow. Google isn't going to tell you that. They'll just keep taking your money. So the real game in Google Ads isn't just picking or knowing what keywords generate motivated sellers. It's determining which ones are profitable at today's exact market price. Now, I want to be real with you about something. Most wholesalers who try Google Ads fail, and I'll tell you exactly why that happens. The number one reason is they quit Google Ads too early. Google Ads compounds on data. The longer it runs, the smarter the algorithm gets. Not to mention you have more leads to follow up with and close. When you quit after a month or 2 months or even 6 months, you haven't let the data compound. The second reason most people struggle is they run too small of an ad budget. That's why at SM3 we tell people, hey, unless you can run a $7,000 to $8,000 a month ad budget for at least 3 to 4 months, we won't even take a single dollar from you because we want to build trust and work with you once you're bigger. The trick is, you guys, you can't expect to run a $1 million a year business off a $3,000 a month ad budget. It just doesn't happen. The same way my clients who are doing $6 million this year can't expect to spend $25,000 a month. They have to spend $100,000 or $130,000 a month in ad spend. Here's the one that actually kills me and why I started SM3. When people hire generic marketing agencies who have never wholesaled a deal in their life, of course you're going to lose money on your ad spend. They don't know what a motivated seller looks like, even if it hit them in the face. They don't know what a good close rate looks like. They don't understand the math of what each contract needs to be. They don't understand that if there's a problem with this number, that means we have to fix this part of our sales process. Generic agencies are flying blind with your money, and you're paying them for it. And so guys, Google Ads is not a perfect silver bullet, but it is the key unlock to scaling from $50,000 a month to $500,000 a month. The most important aspect is combining amazing Google Ads with the understanding that we are running a direct-to-seller sales and marketing organization. Our superpower is building amazing culture, amazing sales teams, and understanding that all of this is our responsibility within our business. The operators hitting 3, 4, 5 million a year in total revenue and over $1 million a year in total profit understand this aspect, and they're all using Google Ads. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Alex and Jack have spent over $1 million with us in Google Ads. They trusted us with that level of spend. That's a lot of money to put in someone else's hands. And they'll tell you themselves, the minimum they get is a 4 times return. So they gave me $1 million to put into the ad system, and they got $4 million back. Somewhere around, I think it was either March or April of last year, they did over $500,000 closed in a single month on a $100,000 of ad budget. Exceptional, right? Not to mention their sales guys are staying with them much longer, because the agency matters as much as the marketing channel, maybe even more. There were times as they scaled their business where they called me and said they want to go up in budget. We looked at their sales organization. We said, hey, I don't think you're ready to handle that yet. Sure, I make a little bit more money when you turn up your ad budget, but I'd rather give you the best advice to keep you as a client for the long term. And he didn't waste money because I understand what a wholesale business looks like and what it can handle. I've got another client who did $221,000 close in a single month while they were traveling in Peru or something like that, because the system works. It creates inbound leads that allows us to hire a sales team that's going to run whether you're there or not. Think about it. $250,000 in revenue while you're on the other side of the world traveling and hanging out with your best friends. That's what intent-based marketing does for businesses. What he told me was that they were not able to do this without Google Ads. Prior to doing this, they were running SMS and Facebook, and their business was absolute chaos because there's all these BS leads. You want to pay more for leads because you want to de-bottleneck your business. So let me bring this all home for y'all. Wholesalers doing $1 million a year in profit are not grinding harder than you. They're working smarter. They're understanding their dollars go further. It's not just about saving money in the cheapest leads. You want the highest premium, most expensive leads. That's how you scale an actual business. They stopped paying for people's attention and they started paying for intent. Huge difference between attention and intent, because that one decision is not only going to de-bottleneck your own life, it's going to allow you to build a sales team that isn't quitting every couple of months. That's what's on the other side of this. Now, if you're a wholesaler currently spending at least $5,000 to $6,000 a month on any kind of marketing in your business, I want you to consider booking a call with my team to see if you qualify to work with our company. Click the link below and book a call. If y'all want to learn more about what my wholesale business looks like, I want you to click this video here where I break down exactly how my company closes a $30,000 wholesale deal every 36 hours. And if you would, please like, comment, and subscribe down below.